Howdy everyone, Poacher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we're going to do the hero spotlight for Rok'Khan, the Orc tank. He's part of the Brawler Brotherhood as well, but we'll go over his abilities and see if you could use him in a Brawler team. We'll go over his stats, look at his abilities, look at the visual effects, and how you're going to be able to obtain this hero in the future. I believe he will be coming out in the next patch, along with the Orc healer, so 2 heroes in one patch. Fun times. So yeah, let's go over everything right now and see what he's capable of. At level 90, gear 12, Rok'Khan comes in at 3.6 million HP speed, 239, which isn't horrible for a tank. Armor 79,000, magic damage resistance 61,000, magic basic damage 294k, critical hit chance 21, and critical damage 552k. We'll go over the stats in more detail. You guys can stop this and have a look wherever you want. Completely up to you. If there's anything that catches your attention, there you go. The information's there for you. So now we'll jump into the arena, look at his abilities, and how good is he going to be. Jumping into the arena, we have Rok'Khan's basic attack, Rapid Axe. Not a lot to this ability. Damages one target, does 20% more damage per allied orc, ignores armor. Now, this is already where I'm starting to have the problem. Allied orc, why is the Brawler's Brotherhood not included in this? He is a brawler. What's the point of the Brotherhood? That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and use the animation again, or the attack against the Worm Priest. Have a look at the animation. It's pretty cool. Bit of water. Slams his axe in the ground on his way back. In terms of basic attacks, it's probably one of the worst I've seen recently. Nothing super great about it. And there you go. It triggers the tank class mark as well. Moving on to Rok'Khan's first special, we have Challenge. Damages one target, provokes enemies into attacking only him for 2 turns. If the target is a ranged damager, then Rok'Khan casts on himself 3 buffs, and for each of those buffs, increases his armor by 30%. 1 buff is removed each turn. If the target is a mage, he casts on himself 3 buffs. For each of those buffs, increases magic resistance by 30%. 1 buff is removed each turn. So you get to pick. It's going to be a team-wide taunt there. We're going to go ahead and use it against Slinger and get the armor. I feel like armor is more important than magic resistance. I guess it depends on the enemies you're fighting. All right, we're going to go ahead and look at the animation now. All right, pretty cool. Does an okay amount of damage. He does a little bit of a roar there. That's pretty cool. It applies the healer class mark as well. The healer class mark can be triggered by a healer. If it is triggered, it applies the Scorching Terror debuff to that enemy. So it's another way of getting Scorching Terror on the enemy without using Arcane. Remember, Scorching Terror reduces the enemy accuracy by 25%. If that enemy misses, they lose 33% of their max HP below, or 30% of their max HP below 33%. The target dies if they miss. That's just from memory. So, interesting ability. I'm glad it's a team-wide taunt. It's not a team-wide taunt. I lied. I apologize. The debuff is only on that Slinger. And if we go ahead and just use our basic attacks, then the enemy should go ahead and none of them are going to attack. They're all going to... Let's speed this up. I believe they're all going to attack, apart from Slinger. They should be able to attack whoever they want. So Slinger, yeah. Okay, so it only taunts one enemy. That's a bit of a shame. Bit of a shame. I thought it was a team-wide taunt. Okay. Little less effective. He does get the defensive increase. However, he's not really taking a bulk of damage. If it was a melee heavy team, you could get that defense and bulk him up and take that damage. If it was a magic heavy team, you could get that magic resistance and then take the heat again. So it's a bit of a shame that is only a single target taunt. Moving on to Rok'Khan's second special, we have Elemental Shield, bit of a shaman vibe from World of Warcraft. Provokes enemies into attacking only him for 3 turns. Pretty decent length taunt. Casts 2 buffs on himself, and for each of those buffs increases his armor by 30% and his magic resistance by 30%. Okay, so he's getting a little bit of a beefy boy now. Casts Elemental Shield on all Dark allies, which blocks arena effects for them for 2 turns. Now, I instantly messaged Playcott when I read arena effects because it's a term never ever been used in the game before. It's a translation issue. It's actually meant to be raid effects. This is the first hero introduced to the game that's going to give you a little bit of an advantage in raids. It's supposed to block certain raid effects. Not all of them, apparently, but that's what I was told. It has nothing to do with PvP, nothing to do with arena, tournament. It's not going to work when versing other players. So it's a very interesting ability for this hero because, yeah, like I said, it's the first of its type to have an ability specifically designed to counter something within a raid is unique. Okay, we're going to go ahead and look at the animation now. We're going to go ahead and attack Worm Priest. Have a look what the animation looks like. Alright, pretty cool. Wish it was a shark that did that though, not a bubble. But there you go, that's Elemental Shield. He's got his buffs on him. He's got his taunt out. This is a team-wide taunt. So, it's interesting they've given him 2 abilities with taunts on it. Probably not the path I would have taken, but yeah, he's got taunting capabilities now. And you'd probably want to lead off with this ability, I guess. I couldn't see why you wouldn't want to lead off with this ability. If you lead off with this ability, it saves his first challenge ability, which applies the healer mark, which triggers Scorching Earth, because you use Arcane for Scorching Earth to begin with. You get the team-wide taunt out on this boy, and then you would use his second ability. Next turn, get that debuff or mark on the enemy, and then if anyone gets rid of their Scorching Terror, you can apply it again with the healer. Well, that's how I would play it, just going off what I've read. So, interesting tank. Armor and magic resist. I don't know. It would be interesting to see how tanky he can get, especially with Gore, whatever the healer's name was. The healer can increase defensive buffs on allies, but they have to be the ally with the lowest HP. So, we'll see how those 2 pair up together. They should work okay. I'm not expecting great things from them. Overall, the team doesn't seem ridiculously overpowered. I think it's Arcane that just has that one ability that makes the orcs seem stupidly strong. And she made them seem stupidly strong because the translation says it reduces their accuracy to 25%, where it's meant to say reduces their accuracy by 25%. So not a big threat. Okay, we'll move on to his passive. Moving on to Rok'Khan's passive, we have Clean Fight. At the start of his turn, he has a 20% chance per allied orc or ally from the Brawler's Brotherhood for Rok'Khan to remove the vulnerability debuff from allied casters and healers whose HP is lower than 33%. So vulnerability is a debuff that is applied to your characters that allows the enemy to attack past your taunts. Every time Rok'Khan is the target of a ranged or magic attack, he performs a counterattack. While Rok'Khan is affected by a taunt, his speed increases by 8% per high, dark, or wild elf ally. Why? What a random bunch of heroes to be including in this character's skill set. If Rok'Khan is affected by a taunt and any high, dark, or wild elf attacks all enemies, then there is a 75% chance the taunt will last 1 turn more. Oh, I just feel like that's such a waste. Unless I'm missing something and this character works really well with any of the elf factions, what's the point of all that? Oh, I don't really like that. Like that almost ruins the whole character for me. Like, I 100% believe characters should be more versatile. You should be able to use them in far more team combinations than just faction-based and brotherhood-based. But why that? I really don't like it. Unless, again, I'm missing something blaringly obvious. So, that is Rok'Khan. Apart from that last little bit, He seems like a decent tank. He's not on Magnus's level, I do not believe. But he's solid. He's not the worst tank. I do not class him as the best tank. Appearance-wise, he might be up there. He actually looks pretty cool. He's got the shark stuff on him. That's why I want more shark stuff animated into him. And yeah, other than that, no further comments. Okay, let's go over how you are going to be able to collect this guy. So how are you going to be able to obtain this hero? Please don't hate the messenger. This hero is going to be released in a similar event to Arcane. It is a one-time event. It will last 10 days. And that is how you will collect the initial shards for this hero. There is going to be a normal and heroic mode. The stages contain 15 nodes per. You have, again, 10 days. Your account must be level 26 to participate in this event, 26 or higher. In the normal mode, you're going to require heroes from the light or dark faction. Some nodes will require specific heroes from the Arrogant Undead, Kobolds, Dwarfs, and Dragonkin. In the heroic mode, you're going to need both light and dark heroes, and then certain nodes are going to require heroes from the Wild Elves, High Elves, Children of the Forest, Druids, Beastmen, Brawlers, Harbingers of Dawn, Warriors of Light, Dark Elves, Orcs, Renegades, and Mercenaries. So heaps of factions for the heroic mode. Now, one big change has come to the event. This was pushed by the community, and Playcott altered the event. So again, it's information you guys need to know. When you used to open a chest in this type of event, you would get 3 cards. The first card would reward you a hero with 1 to 5 shards. The second card from 5 to 145 shards of a hero. And the third card would reward you with the crystals used for the Troran chests. I don't know what the name of those crystals are off the top of my head. Each of the 2 cards that offer you hero shards used to be randomized heroes. The change now comes in the first card, which offers you 1 to 5 randomized hero shards. It's now going to give you 1 to 5, I believe it still is, of the event hero. So it is a nice little change. It should definitely make an impact on people's accounts within the terms of collecting the hero, compared to the Arcane event where people didn't get Arcane shards for X amount of chests. It was ridiculous. Like, I heard people opening 30 chests that didn't get any Arcane shards, even though she had a boosted rate. So it would be interesting to see how far into unlocking the hero a player can get now, with the guaranteed first card giving you this character's shards. Now, remember, RNG could also be in your favor. Unlikely, but still in your favor on that second card, and you could get a big boost in his shards. It can happen. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you are in the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.